In the last 12 months alone, myself and our agency have spent close to $2 to $3 million a month on Facebook advertising. And I'm going to go ahead and show you just a moment some of the results that we're achieving. But in today's video, I'm going to be pulling back and breaking down the only Facebook ad account structure that you should be utilizing in 2024 for your e-commerce brand. Now, guys, I just want to quickly show you inside of some of our live Facebook ad accounts. Give this a refresh. We've spent $21,000 in the last 30 days for this client, $162,000 returned. If I look at this client, just in the last 7 days, we spent $32,000. If I look in the last 30 days, we've spent $163,000 with over $1 million returned. For this client in the last 30 days, we've spent over $521,000 with over $1.4 million return on ad spend. And for this client as well, we spent $15,000 in the last 30 days with over a $69,000 return on ad spend. And this is, again, just some of our clients over the last 30 days. So I know exactly what we're talking about when it comes to achieving Facebook ad results. And in all of these accounts, every single one that I just showed you, and the 10, 15 others that we're currently managing, we're utilizing this exact Facebook ad account structure. I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up from the campaign, the ad sets, the creative level, and how you can go ahead and optimize it. So let's dive in. Okay, guys. So with any account that we are working on, and again, what I'm going to be talking about in today's video is the ad account structure and setup that you need to be utilizing for an e-commerce brand, right? You can be using this perhaps for maybe lead generation, but specifically we're going to be focused on conversion rate, or rather conversion objectives. And I'm going to show you how we create the campaigns inside of our ad accounts and structure pretty much every single ad account the exact same way. We're always starting with our top of funnel, which is where we're going to be injecting the majority of customers and potential customers into our ecosystem for us to retarget, ultimately target overall, and get them to convert. And we're always starting with, again, with all of these campaigns, guys, quick caveat, they are all conversion objective campaigns. And I'm going to tell you the difference of when we're using an ABO, ad set budget optimization, or a conversion budget optimize or campaign budget optimization. And so generally when we're creating a top of funnel stable campaign, what this means is, we've had these campaigns run as long as more than a year, and we're doing the majority of the testing inside of the ad set level. And always, these are ad set budget optimization campaigns. Reason for that is that it allows us to test on each ad set level and apply the budget that we want, right? And I'll show you the reason that we use CBO campaigns in just a moment, but generally there's just these 4 to 5 different campaigns that we're setting up in every account. And I'm going to show you again. So this is our top of funnel campaign, ABO. Inside of this ABO, generally we're having a few broad interests. Like, for example, if we're targeting a camera bag, if we're like marketing for a camera bag company, some of the interests might be around like photography, right? Or just cameras in general. So very, very broad. And then we're targeting completely broad targeting here, allowing Facebook's AI to do a lot of the work. And if possible, this is a rare instance. Majority of the times we'll just go with just these 2 variations of targeting, broad and some loose interest targeting. If we do and the brand has a lot of data, we will utilize an LLA stack just to see how that performs, which is a lookalike audience stack. So we're stacking a lot of our different variations of lookalike audiences. And then we're also doing a lookalike audiences. And so like what that means would be like a lookalike audiences of purchasing, lookalike audiences of like our email list, etc. And we're stacking all of those. So it's a really, really big, broad audience. Or we're doing specifically a lookalike audience of our purchases over the last 90 to 180 days. And again, specifically with these 2 ad sets, we're not always utilizing them in each and every campaign, or in each and every top of funnel campaign. But when we do have the data, this is what we're running with. And generally on the creative level, one thing I want you to notice here is we're really maximizing at 3 creatives each ad set. Any more than that, I think you have really low control on Facebook's ad spend. And what you'll notice to happen here is, let's just say we had 4 to 5 different ads in this one ad set. Maybe 1 to 2 different variations of those ads are going to be getting all of the spend and the other 3 are getting 0. And so to negate that and combat that a little bit, we're maximizing at putting 3 different creatives in each ad set. And when it comes to the budget on each of these ad sets, we're also basically just determining, starting with a very, let's say our overall budget is $100 a day. We'll obviously kind of just like split these evenly. Maybe we're going to be spending like $60 a day on this campaign. We'll kind of, maybe just have like 1 interest, top of funnel interest, which is broad, spending around $20 a day, 1 spending testing, completely broad at maybe like $30 a day, right? And that way we're spending like our $50 to $60 a day there. And then if we have the extra budget, that's when we'll start to allocate, basically just duplicating these ad sets and increasing the budget. But you will notice that, again, the reason why this is on an ABO is that this allows us to say, hey, we want this ad set to spend $60. It's performing really well. We want this ad set to spend, $150. It's performing even better. We're testing a new ad set maybe at like $40 a day. And again, it allows you to have that control top of funnel. And this is one of the main campaigns that we are utilizing, especially once we get winning creatives that we're utilizing to scale and put a lot of our budget towards. Now, the other type of campaign that we will have, you'll notice in some of those ad accounts that I was looking at before, is that we're running, again, a top of funnel campaign, again, conversion objective ABO as well, but this time we're running a dynamic creative test campaign. And so what that means is, again, we're following the exact same laws as the targeting from before, right? So when I say interest here, it's very broad interests. If we're targeting, if we're marketing for a cosmetic company, we're targeting people who are interested in makeup as an example, a very loose interest, or maybe like a certain brand that we're targeting. Again, just making sure that these audiences are very large. The majority of the spend is going to be going to the broad, but then what we're doing here is in each ad set, we only have one quote unquote ad. It's a dynamic creative test where we're testing multiple videos, multiple photos, usually dependent on the SKU. So we'll have, a broad campaign for, let's just say our makeup brushes, and we'll have in that dynamic creative test specifically ads just for the makeup brushes. Then we'll have another broad ad set, which is, let's say, for blush palettes, right? And then in there, we'll have the dynamic creative test running for just blush palette creatives. Once we find winning combinations, whether it's like a creative and a piece of ad copy, we're taking these, obviously starting to scale them inside of here as they're running. But then what we're doing is moving some of our winning creatives over to the top of funnel stable campaign, and we're really scaling those quite dramatically. And that's where we start to put the majority of our spend. And so this campaign inside of our account is really just where we're doing a lot of the creative testing and doing it in a very efficient way by using dynamic creative test, which, like I said, allows us to test multiple creatives and multiple pieces of ad copy at once to find those winning pieces of combinations. And then we have our middle of funnel campaign, guys, which is technically bottom of funnel, but I'll explain to you what this means. And this is actually where we're using campaign budget optimization, just because these audiences are relatively extremely small compared to broad targeting. We don't want to be making the judgments just based off of the loose results that we're seeing, because as we know, attribution is not always accurate. We want Facebook's AI to make these decisions. So generally, our middle of funnel campaign is going to be a combination of our social media audiences. So as you can see, generally middle of funnel campaign, CBO targeting, which means we're just giving, let's just say this campaign $100 a day. Facebook's AI is deciding whether we want to target Instagram audiences over the last 365 days, Facebook audiences over the last 365 days, or again, just to give Facebook a little bit more of a bigger tube, quote unquote, to kind of like reach those people, if that makes sense. We're combining those audiences so that pool of Facebook and Instagram users becomes that much larger, and we have the potential to reach specific people that we may not have otherwise. And generally, again, we're keeping that same rule where within here we're testing 1 to 3 creatives, always more than one, but generally 3 creatives in each ad set. Whether they're going to be different or not, that's really dependent on the size of the brand and the number of products that we're advertising. But we are always launching with a middle of funnel campaign. That way we can make sure that we are always top of mind with the people that are interacting with us on Facebook and Instagram, and we're allowing Facebook to make that decision. Again, you can open this window by 30-day increments, etc., but we're running this as a CBO. And then our bottom of funnel, you'll notice I have like a few ad examples here. This is actually from something else, but again, it doesn't really matter on what types of ads you could be running here, and like whether it's like an unboxing ad, testimonial. What this needs to be is just creative 1, creative 2, creative 3, but the bottom of funnel is again a CBO, where we're allowing Facebook's AI to make that decision as to where to allocate this spend. And then we're targeting all website visitors last 180, view content, add to cart, initiate checkout, all last in the last 180 days. Again, you can open or narrow this by 30-day increments depending on the size of your brand. And then again, we're following that example where we're testing at least 3 different variations of ads. And if we need to test more, then we'll likely utilize a dynamic creative test on the bottom of funnel, where we can kind of like test multiple variations of creatives with variations of copy once again. But these are generally the 4 campaigns that every single brand needs. I don't care who you are. I've seen a lot of people talk about single campaigns and et cetera, et cetera. I think that just means you're becoming a very lazy marketer. And I think our proof is in the pudding, right? We're spending multiple millions of dollars a month on advertising and generating mid to high 7 figures a month return for our clients, multiple 8 figures a year in revenue. And we're using this exact strategy of a top of funnel combination ABO, top of funnel combination DCT ABO, and a bottom of funnel campaign and a middle of funnel campaign on a campaign budget optimization. And one thing that we've been testing as of late that I just wanted to add into this video is our top of funnel Advantage Plus campaign. Now, we are not utilizing this with every brand, but with some of our clients where we are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, I wanted to add this in as a little bonus where this is the 5th campaign that we're adding in a lot of our accounts, which is essentially top of funnel Advantage Plus campaign. It is just a single broad ad set with a ton of our top performing ads in there, and we're allowing Facebook's AI to figure out where to allocate in terms of the creative here. And this is something that's been working extremely well. And so if I zoom out, guys, again, this is the very simple breakdown to the top of funnel campaigns and the bottom and middle of funnel campaigns, and then the top of funnel campaign using an Advantage Plus setup. I'm going to leave the link to this structure in the description if you guys would like to access this. But again, this is the exact ad account structure that we're utilizing with upwards of 15 to 20 brands continuously, legitimately spending millions of dollars a month. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is something super simple that every e-commerce brand needs to be utilizing as far as their Facebook ad account structure in 2024. If this ever does change, of course, we'll be making an updated version to keep you guys up to date. I would really appreciate it if you guys could drop a like, a comment, subscribe. It really does help with the algorithm and make sure that these videos get pushed to the right people. As always, if you're interested in working with our agency or you want access to myself in terms of one-on-one coaching, all of the links are in the description as always. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.